Mukhtar Hussain. I'm in the Communications 1105 class, and this is my speech. And now I'll go ahead and start. I always knew I was of Somali origin, but due to unfortunate circumstances, I never got the opportunity to experience those vivid memories my parents and all the relatives shared with me about growing up in Somalia. Yes, I have modern necessities and technology, but there is nothing like going back home. Many people are nervous when they go back home for the first time. Will people accept me or will I be labeled an outcast? Imagine when I went back home and to my dismay, I was labeled a foreigner. I was yelled at and repeatedly questioned like I was under arrest. But then I could also tell from their facial expression that they were in awe. To them, I was an American kid who left his waste and came back to show off. Well, today, I am here to tell you why going back after being gone for 14 years was one of my greatest points of pride. After realizing that I lost touch with my culture, my mom and I decided that we would take a 3-month trip back home to get back in touch with our culture and heritage and also see how my people lived. The thesis or the central idea in my speech is throughout this entire process, I learned that there is nothing like going back home. I didn't really understand my Somali identity or roots. My internal preview is my main point one was there are several reasons why I decided to go back to Somalia. My main point two is there were several reasons why I was labeled an outsider. My main point three was there were several reasons why I think going back was worth it. First of all, there were several reasons why I decided to go back to Somalia. It all began after I moved from my beloved Toledo, Ohio and came to Columbus. Columbus was vibrant and lively, seeing how I was only 11 years old. We were one of the few Somali families in Toledo. And when I came to Columbus and saw my people everywhere, I became curious. We slowly became part of the Somali community, but something was still on the back of my mind. I slowly matured as I fell in love with the culture, traditions, and self-pride of my people. I also had a few obstacles of my own. As I developed from a child to an adolescent, I realized that I was out of place. Unlike many other Somalis in Columbus who are aware of their natural Somali heritage, I could not speak my Somali language authentically. I did not know my tribal information, which by the way is very important. I was completely out of sync with my own people. You can say that I kind of became Americanized. I did not know what my Somali identity was. The rest of the Somali population in Columbus had a stronger sense of their Somali identity than me. The transition. Now that I explain why I decided to go back to my country, I'll explain why I was labeled an outsider. There was not a whole lot I did to prepare for my trip. I did not brush up on my language skills, did not learn about any authentic Somalian cuisine so that I could wow my long unseen family. I did not even have the slightest thought of at least learning my tribal name. When I finally landed at the airport and stepped off the plane, I did not expect what I saw. The buildings and landscape were unique, but the people were dressed very simple. This situation is what eventually led me to being viewed as an outsider. So now that I covered why I was labeled an outsider, I can tell you why I think it was worth going back. Going back to my country was an amazing decision and a wonderful experience. I met countless people and saw many things that I did not see in the United States. Everything was unique, from the landscape to the cuisine and even the animals. Even the channels on the television were unlike the channels in the United States. Another reason I think it was worth it was the food. Everything that I ate was sourced from the city I was in. On the way there, I passed by a few countries, France, Germany, and Djibouti. Every country was unique in its own way. The airport in France had tubes going in every direction, no stairs, no elevators. I met Somalis that spoke French, which was very rare to me. Germany was just the United States. Germany was exactly like the United States, except I understood nothing. which is understanding since my German was lacking. Djibouti was just like Somalia, except it was a lot smaller. And there was an American military base on the premises. My trip was definitely worth it. I had adventures and memories that will last a lifetime. Let me end by saying the vacation we took was a trip that was years in the making. It took a lot of patience, time, and investment to make it happen. Even though we lived in the United States for 14 years at this point, getting our citizenship was by no means an easy task. It was a very interesting trip though. Just getting there was half the fun. It was my mom, me, and my little sister who was 5. We had countless adventures just getting there. I also became more fluent in my language, in Somali, as did my sister, because not many people knew the English language. I got to see the descendants of the goats that we used to own. I even had special access to the police station and military that was in the city since my aunt was in the force. I really felt like a VIP. When a person leaves a familiar place and grows up in a new land with different values and cultures, your personality changes to fit that environment. The blank stares and finger pointing that I witnessed changed my view of being different. I felt the same way about them as they felt with me. I'm glad that I was able to immerse myself in a unique environment everyone benefited. I am grateful for the opportunity that I had. So many things had to come together just to make it happen. I was able to see my grandma and cousins, which made it all the sweeter. At the end of the day, there is nothing like going back to my homeland, my place of birth. I am really proud that I experienced everything in my 3-month journey to my homeland. I met many wonderful people, many who I was related to. I got to experience my culture and heritage right from the source, my homeland. Thank you for your time, and that is my speech.